In the previous chapter, we saw how Eida and Code managed to kidnap Amato. They also managed to force Amato to release the limiter in Code's body. Unfortunately, it turned out that they had no intention of letting Amato live. Just before Code attacked him, he asked Eida to have a discussion especially regarding Koki. In effect, Code did not end Amato's life. And in fact, what happened was that the Eida and Code alliance was split as a result of this. What's also interesting is that Amato explained that he had implanted some kind of emergency system in Koki's body. The emergency system would allow him to control Koki at will. And this also seems to be a guarantee for Amato while in Konoha. On the other hand, Amato also asked Eida and Damon to go to Konoha. Then what happened in chapter 72. But before we start this video, please smash that like button. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please subscribe and click notification bell, or you will miss future anime videos. This Boruto Chapter 72 has the title Small and Useful. The story begins with a conversation between Koki and Shikamaru. Koki said that Shikamaru didn't know anything about what Amato did by reactivate the karma seal on his body. The discussion turned out to be quite heated, until finally Naruto appeared and separated the two of them. However, a surprise then appeared where they got a report that Amato contacted them. According to Amato, they were at an inn in the snow country. What is also surprising is that Amato is not alone. He was with Eida as well as Damon. After telling them where they were, Amato then said that it would take him 4 days to get back to Konoha. Hearing about Eida and Damon, Shikamaru also had time to ask about Code, where Amato explained that their cooperation or alliance was no longer established. Besides asking about Eida, Shikamaru also asked about Damon, which really surprised Amato. He then explained a little about Damon to Shikamaru, and said he would explain in more detail when he was in Konoha. What's interesting is that Amato had made a threat to Shikamaru regarding Damon and Eida. Amato explains that if Shikamaru wants to accept Eida, then he must also accept Damon. Shikamaru was angry with Amato regarding this, but Amato reminded that in the current situation, Eida has a very useful trump card for both Shikamaru and Konoha in the future. After discussing the situation with Eida, Amato continued to report the bad situation to Shikamaru. He explains what happened earlier, including how Code finally managed to force Amato to release the limiter in his body. Even so, Amato also explained the situation to Shikamaru, that even though Code was very strong without a limiter, they had Eida and Damon. Eida also threatens Amato to keep his promise to make Koki close to him. If Amato does not keep his promise, then she will kill Amato. Eida herself admits that she doesn't care about all of Amato's big wishes and plans. All she wanted was to be with Koki, just as he had promised. No less surprising in this chapter is the reappearance of Momoshiki. When Boruto prepared to carry out the mission that Shikamaru gave to Team 7, he also said goodbye to Hinata. The mother cried and was sad to see the condition of her son, who was always in great threat. Despite that, Boruto explained that his condition was fine. Just as he was about to leave the house, something surprising happened where Momoshiki appeared before Boruto. The conversation that took place between the two of them was quite dark. Momoshiki convinces Boruto that it is meaningless to continue living in this world, when he knows that in the future the life of Boruto will be terrible and full of sadness. Momoshiki insists that Boruto has a fixed future, where he will lose those he loves. According to him, before that phase finally appears, he will lose the will to live and try to leave this world. And in the end, Momoshiki will take over the body and life of Boruto for good. Even though Boruto tries to divert the conversation and close the conversation, Momoshiki reiterates that Boruto's destiny and future are clearly visible. And Momoshiki also confessed that he couldn't wait to take over Boruto's body immediately. When he was trying to attack Momoshiki, suddenly Mitsuki and Sarada appeared behind him. Of all the things that appear in Boruto Chapter 72, the most worrying is how Code seems to have managed to awaken the 10-tailed beast. In the chapter, we saw the monster appear in humanoid form. There is some interesting and important information that Code shared with the bugs while they were in the Otsutsuki dimension. According to him, this dimension can only be accessed by Jigen. Code was able to do the same because he left his claw mark behind. Sasuke is also another figure who is able to access these dimensions because he has space and time ninjutsu. What's also interesting is that according to Code, considering Koki and Boruto are now Otsutsuki, meaning they can use the ninjutsu and access to that dimension. Finally, Code then devises a plan to defeat Eida and Damon. He also covered all the body parts of the 10-tailed beasts with his claw mark. Then Code squeezed the bodies of the 10-tailed beasts so that they became many and small, the size of a human. Code plans to make an army from a combination of the 10-tailed beast chakra and his blood. According to him, this is much more efficient and useful